Awesome. Welcome everyone to my Au Pair Life Talk. I'm Arifa, and before we get started today, we prepared a little exciting quiz for you. So please feel free to scan the QR code, find out if the Au Pair Life is what you're looking for. You can scan the code right here on the presentation and save it on your phone and fill it in later after the talk, okay? Awesome. Well, let's look at today's first topic. Great. Today we'll be talking about 5 reasons to become an au pair. We will share stories on each of these reasons and hear from both past au pairs and current au pairs to give you an insight on why you should become an au pair. Let's get started. Awesome. As I said earlier, my name is Arifa and I will be your host today alongside with Anne-Sophie. We're both currently working for Cultural Care Au Pair and have both been au pairs before. I myself was an au pair between 2017 all the way through to 2019 in the beautiful Plymouth in Massachusetts. I looked after the most energetic little 3-year-old boy and the sweetest 3-month-old girl. And I've been home for 4 years now, but till this day, I still video call with my host mom. She still sends me pictures and really cute stories about the kids. And whenever I call them, my host kid still calls me Karifa, which is a little mashup that he made of his name, Carter, and my name, Arifa, literally on the first day that we met each other. And he's been calling me that ever since. And Sophie, would you like to introduce yourself?
Yes, sure. That's so cute, Arifa. Thank you. So, hi, everybody. So, my name is Anne-Sophie, and I was also an au pair in 2018, actually, in Santa Monica, California. So, I'm from Paris, France. And I was taking care of 2 amazing boys, which are Ellington and Kaleo. And I had an amazing experience as an au pair. And actually, I decided to extend my experience for 6 additional months, which was not the plan at the beginning. And yeah, I'm still very close to my host family. And actually, the picture you can see right here on the screen is me and my host kid when they came to visit me in Paris last summer.
That is so cute. It's actually so nice to see host families coming to visit au pairs in their home country. Well, alongside myself and Sophie, we also have 3 fantastic au pairs and a host mom joining us today. We have Laura from North Carolina. Laura, would you like to unmute yourself and introduce yourself?
Yes. Hey. So I'm Laura. I'm an au pair in North Carolina right now. I'm taking care of 4 boys at the moment. This is my second year. So my first year I was in California. And yeah, I extended for 12 months because I love it. I couldn't leave yet. But yeah, 4 boys, 9 years old, 8 years old, and a twin that's 5 years old.
Nice. That sounds like a handful.
Yeah, it is.
Thanks so much, Laura. We also have McKyla and her host mom, Lesley, will be joining us a little bit later. So please do stay tuned till the end so that you can talk to a host mom that's in our program as well. But McKyla, would you like to unmute yourself and introduce yourself?
Sure. Hi, everyone. I'm McKyla. I'm from South Africa, moved to the States in March of last year. I'm currently doing my extension here in California, San Francisco. And no, it's not as sunny as it sounds. It's very cloudy and very cold here. I take care of 2 twin boys that is 19 months now, or turning 19 months. So I can relate to Laura. Quite a handful, definitely.
Thanks so much, McKyla. And lastly, we do have Alessia, who is almost at the end of her au pair term. Alessia, would you like to introduce yourself?
Yes. Hello, everybody. I'm from Italy and I now live in Larchmont, New York, which is like 40 minutes from New York City. And this is my 10th month of my experience here in the US, and I'm loving every second of it. And I'm taking care of 3 kids, 2 boys, one of 9 years old, and the other one is 7, and one girl of 5 years old. They're super active, super athletic, super energetic.
That's amazing. Well, it's really so great to have all of you here today, especially with the time difference. But what we can do now is we can get started with our presentation and go into the first reason on why you should become an au pair.
Yes, thank you so much, Arifai. Thank you guys for introducing yourself and sharing a little bit. So let's start, right? The first reason to become an au pair is discover the US. So obviously, exploring the USA is one of the benefits from becoming an au pair. And I know for me personally, as soon as I arrived in the States, I created a bucket list of everything I wanted to discover in the US. I was so excited. And I think that's also why I decided to extend, because I didn't finish my bucket list at the end of my first year. So I was like, yes, I'm going to stay a little bit more. But for me personally, I got to visit 9 states out of the 50 states in the US, which is, not that bad. And I got to see a lot. Although I was living in California, which is, really beautiful. I think my favorite city and state was New Orleans in Louisiana. That was amazing. So I can see you girls shared a lot of pictures of you and your trips. And I can see, for example, Alessia at the Antelope Canyon. That picture is so good, though. I'm sure you get a lot of likes on Instagram. So can you share more about this trip?
Oh yeah, you were correct. Antelope Canyon, Arizona, and that was part of my road trip that I did this August for my vacation. And I did a road trip through the canyons. So I visited 3 states, Arizona, Utah, and Nevada. So I did kind of a loop around all those beautiful places, beautiful parks. And I ended up in Las Vegas, Nevada, which was an amazing experience.
Of course, it's Vegas.
Sounds like it. Oh, that's great. Thank you. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you can enjoy more during your last few months in the US.
Oh, yeah, I will.
Oh, good. And Laura, you said that you just moved to North Carolina. I mean, you moved to North Carolina for your extension here. And I don't know if you knew about North Carolina before moving in. So, did you know about anything? And what do you love now that you're here in North Carolina?
Well, I didn't know anything, and I had a lot of reactions like, why are you going to North Carolina? It's like I think most of my friends wanted to go to either New York or California.
Exactly.
And of course, I was already in California, so I was like, well, we're gonna go somewhere else. But when I got here, I realized the beach is 3 hours away, and 3 hours is not long at all to take a drive. But then also the mountains are also 3 hours away. So I'm actually planning a trip right now for just a weekend to go to the mountains. So I'm really excited for that one.
Oh, wow, it's amazing that you have both of, you have this the beach and the mountains.
Yes, I love both. So that's good.
Sort
That's
of like the
amazing.
best of both worlds, and not a lot of au pairs, know about North Carolina. So to hear an au pair there is so cool.
Exactly. Wow. All right. And during your career, do you think it's easy to plan trips and to travel around the US and McKyla, for example, how do you plan your trips and how easy can you travel around the US?
I definitely think it's easier to travel in the States than it is back home, simply because accommodation is fairly cheap if you find the right motels or hostels, and Facebook groups like au pair Facebook groups. And in your cluster, it's definitely easy to meet up with friends and book out a date and then set out to travel together. Because if you travel in groups, it's obviously a little bit cheaper and the memories are better that way as well. So in your au pair group, I'd say definitely reach out to people and just message them hey, let's go check out national parks, like Laura was saying, and things like that. And you'd really get to see a lot of states that way.
All right, that's great. And you're right. I think it's really cheap to travel within the States, internal trips are really cheap. So
yeah, no, definitely.
Please, everybody, enjoy your time in the US, every second of it. Enjoy your travel months, do it if you can. And I hope you get to visit more than 9 states,
What was one of the favorite cities that you've been to so far?
I think my favorite was Honolulu in Hawaii. That had to be like my favorite because obviously it's like a bucket list place, and just seeing the people and the food and like the calmness of that place is just amazing. So that has to be like top on my list.
So my favorite was the road trip. So all the 3 states that I saw, Arizona, Utah, and Nevada. But I wanted to say that I agree with Anne-Sophie. I went to New Orleans and that city is magical. So Louisiana is a big thumbs up.
Yes, Yanola. Woo!
Well, I agree with Alessia. My road trip was amazing. I did 10 days, but my favorite spot on it was Horseshoe Bend. And I'm not sure if a lot of people know about it, but it was so peaceful and it's so beautiful. It's amazing.
Yes, great. Thank you, guys. Well, thank you for sharing about those trips. And let's move on to the next topic with Arifa.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Anne-Sophie. Like you guys were saying, it was so easy to travel in the States as well. And for me, making those friendships in all pair clusters and joining Facebook groups, it was all so easy for me to make friends. And that's what I loved about America. Everybody was so friendly. And it was actually my favorite part about the program as well, is making these friends from all around the world, meeting new people, creating memories with different types of people throughout my au pair term. And I just want to find out maybe from you, Laura, how did you make friends when you first came to the States?
So there are like many WhatsApp groups, so I just joined a lot of them. And then you have the LCC meetings. Two of my best friends I met there. But I also met friends like I was planning my trip, my big road trip, with one of my best friends. And we realized it's cheaper when you go with more.
Yes.
So we just like randomly, I posted on an Instagram account, I think Au Pair Trip. And we posted on there like, hey, is there somebody that wants to join us? And now I made 2 more friends because of just that trip. So that's actually a good way.
I actually had the same experience. I was looking for someone to go to Six Flags with, and was about a 2-hour drive away from where we were staying. I literally put a little message in that au pair group on Facebook. I asked if anybody wants to do a road trip, and from there I met like 3 friends. And we did
It's a really good way.
random people, and you're going to an amusement park together. One of my best memories that I could have made there. That's so awesome to hear. And McKyla, I know that you also were saying about joining au pair groups. And from the friends that you made while you were there, like what type of activities do you guys do together when you do meet up?
So that's a cool question. A friend of mine who was an au pair last year, she finished the program, she moved back home to Italy. She's visiting me actually now for like 2 weeks. So that's just how amazing these Facebook groups and these groups are. Like if you make friends from all around the world, like it's such a beautiful bond. So now she's visiting me, and we also did the national parks, Grand Canyon, Zion, and the 3 triangles of the national park. So traveling is definitely number one. And then there's so much to do here. There's like escape rooms that we do. So we usually try to do like some sort of activity or some sort of thing that you're not usually used to. So things out of your comfort zone, like Six Flags and things like that, is definitely on top of your list with groups like this, because everyone is just so interested in joining or doing anything. So
And also doing stuff that's out of your comfort zone. Yep. Lola.
I'm actually going to a football game tonight with 2 girls I don't know yet. So I'm meeting them tonight and I'm going to a football game. Like,
love it.
They asked me at the beginning of the week in a big chat, and I was like, yeah, let's go. Let's do this.
Literally, like the au pair program is there so that you guys can live the best American experience that you can. And doing these spontaneous meetups as well just adds to the excitement of everything. I mean, it's a random Thursday night and you're going to a football game.
Yeah, and
That's
also I feel like
awesome.
it's just a big family, you know. And just because you're an au pair, we want to be friends with you. And it's not because like I don't know you from anywhere and you can be from Brazil, Argentina, Germany, Italy. I don't care. Just because you're an au pair, we are in the same program. We just want to be friends and meet and share experiences. It's amazing that it's just such a big family, you know.
Yeah,
That's true.
exactly.
And that's also a thing that I noticed, that au pairs are so friendly and they are so including. And even if you want to do like the most random thing that comes up in your mind, just like go to a football game or go to a weird museum, there's always someone that is down to do that thing.
And have you noticed that like the au pairs that you're making friends with, are they from your country only or are they from different countries as well?
Oh, it's different countries. I mean, I have a lot of Italian au pair friends, but I also know some Colombians, Mexicans, Spanish, German. It's like all nationalities. So that what also makes the experience way better, I think.
Well, it does sound like you guys all also had a easy time making friends. But I can imagine for myself when I went the first few months, it did feel a little bit alone, you know, because you're moving to another country all by yourself. Do you have any tips for our future au pairs about ways to find new friends or even just make new friends?
Yeah. So as Laura said before, there are always these LCC meetings that they're organized monthly or weekly, depends on your LCC, but those are nice ways to get to know new friends, new au pairs that are joining the group. So that's also a thing. And the other thing is, like, my suggestion is to never be afraid to ask. Just randomly ask someone if they want to hang out or do something with you, because if you're asking to other au pairs, most of them have the same schedule as you. So and they want to do some American experience things. So they're always down to do that. So never be afraid to ask and don't be shy.
Thanks. I think Laura, yes,
I
you wanted
agree.
to say
Even,
something? Oh,
sorry.
no, it's fine.
Even Facebook groups, like we were saying earlier, Facebook groups is really good because you can like type in the state that you're in or the city that you're in, and then you can find like a specific group in that area that you're in. And then you can create like a WhatsApp group and take it from there. Because we started one in North California for South African au pairs in this side. And now we have like a WhatsApp group and you just like keep on adding people and they add people and you go on trips, and that's just by extension making friends.
Yeah, and
Laura?
even if you're nervous, because I remember the first time that I had to go to an LCC meeting because it is new and it's big, but even if you're nervous, just go. You don't even have to stay that long, but then at least you'll be around the people and like they can see you and they can reach out to you and they just know you're there, even if you're just staying for like an hour or whatever. Just go. It's fun.
Yeah, I remember also my first LCC meeting, I was really nervous. And my host mom was like, I'll go with you. It's okay. You don't have to be nervous. They're all doing the same program as you. And I'm like, no, I feel like a kid on the first day of school.
But yeah, it feels like that, but then once you've done it, it's easy.
Yeah. Then it's like, you know, these people your whole life all of a sudden. Just a fun fact about myself is that I met my best friend on the au pair program. And we literally so close now. I was at her sister's wedding. Her parents literally included me in their Christmas family photo. And I met her from the au pair program. So making friends might seem daunting in the beginning, but there is the support that you need that side from whether you're joining your LCC meetings or going out of your own way to join Facebook groups. You know, it is easy to make friends as long as you're friendly as well. So let's look at the next reason why you should become an au pair.
Yes, thank you, Arifa. So the next reason why you should become an au pair is to gain experience. And when we say gain experience, we're talking about growing, learning, and develop yourself personally, professionally, and like the au pair experience is the chance of a lifetime. It's the opportunity to develop yourself. And I think that's also why a lot of people decide to become an au pair. You grow so much when you come back from the au pair experience. I think that you're not the same person that when you first went. So yeah, this is the opportunity to gain a lot of from the experience. Personally, I just discovered myself new qualities I didn't know I had, you know. For example, patience. Yes, working with kids, I think we can all agree here. Patience, right? I didn't know I had that much patience in me, but you know, when you're here daily with the kids and you have to adapt and adjust to their routine and understand their language, because you know it's still at the beginning we still have this language barrier. So yeah, definitely patience. Also get more open-minded, because again you travel to a different country with new people, new culture, and I just, you know, it was so easy for me to adapt and to open my mind to new stuff. So definitely I gained a lot. And also I have to say that of course the English part, when I was talking about the English barrier, I was not that good in English before traveling to the US, and now I think, you know, it helped me a lot, the being an au pair for a year and a half. It's not perfect, my English, but you know, almost fluent, I would say.
Thank you. You definitely sound like your English. So
Yeah.
it did, it helped for sure. And I know some of you also English is your second language. So how has moving to America, you know, helped you improve your own English?
Well, I personally, I wasn't afraid of speaking, and I'm not afraid of make mistakes while talking. And I'm grateful to have a host dad and host kids, which they're always correcting my pronunciations. And there's a fun thing. One time they corrected me the word spaghetti, which is an Italian word, and they say it's not spaghetti, it's spaghetti. So now I can say that in English. They definitely helped me.
Yeah, that was me and zebra. So in South Africa, we call it zebra, but my host kid was like, no, it's not a zebra, it's a zebra.
Yeah, I think the host kids, they're like, you know, they will correct you without, you know, the adults will have more tact, and they'll be like, oh, you know, we don't, and those kids, they'll be like, no, that's not how you say it. You say it like, but you know, that's a great opportunity. And for me, my host kid was my greatest teacher. And at some point, my host mom, she says, I feel like you talk my 11-year-old child. It's like, yes, because I'm around him all day, every day. So I talk like him now. Oh my God.
It's the same for me. Like, we grew up talking English as a second language, but of course it's not perfect. But if I have trouble with it, I'll just ask. Like, there are words that I refuse to pronounce because I know I'm gonna mess up, and then I'm like, know what I mean, but you have to tell me first how I say it, and then I'll try. But then we just laugh about it if that happens, or I just correct myself. And they don't even care if it's perfect or not. They can, like, they know what you're trying to say.
Exactly.
So it's not.
They know what we mean, and they understand us eventually. So yeah, let's not be shy about English, okay? And yeah, McKyla, for example, how was the au pair experience helps you develop and grow personally or professionally?
I think the program helps you to speak up in situations that you're not comfortable with, like whether it's your schedule or things with the kids. It has helped me to not be shy, to be like, hey, I'm uncomfortable with this situation. Can we sit down and speak about it? Where previously I'd be like, nope, I'm just going to ignore it and try to figure it on or fix it on my own. Now I'm like, okay, no, I need to open up. I need to speak. I need to address certain concerns, because at the end of the day, it's an open communication is going to help you experience going into this au pair program.
Definitely. I think
Couldn't
that's
have said it
something
better.
we
Eh?
learn as an au pair. Yeah. Great. Great tip. And Alessia, how do you think the au pair experience will benefit you in your future? Not right now, but in the future job, in the future career.
So I feel like this experience gave me a lot of what they call soft skills. So this experience taught me about being flexible and adaptable, and again, to communicate better with others.
Mhm.
And I feel like I'm hoping it can open me new job opportunities or to find a new job. And also I'm fluent now in English, I think. So that's another good thing to add on a resume. So, and I also feel like it helped me with everyday life in general. So to overcome any challenges, since I overcome a lot of challenges here. So I guess I can consider myself ready.
That's great. Great.
Yeah.
And
For
I think,
myself,
Rifa, you too, the au pair experience for you was a great step for you professionally. It helped
yes.
you.
No, definitely. I mean, I joined the au pair program right out of university, and I studied sports communication, and I was like, oh yeah, definitely, I'm going to do something in sports, like that's it. And then I joined the program, and I learned so much more about myself. Like Alessia said, you learn so many soft skills. For me, I learned, how to speak up for myself. I gained so much more confidence in my own skills and gained so much independence as well. And I also learned a lot about emotional intelligence and how to maintain relationships. So that really helped once I came back home. I just wanted to talk about cultural care to every single person
Yes.
who would literally like sit
Same.
next to me. Anyone in school, oh my word, if I heard you were in your last year of high school, I was like, guys, this is a program you have to do, guys. Like, this program is going to give you all the life skills that you need. Um, and it gets you away from your comfort zone as well. So it puts you in an uncomfortable position so that you can grow. And I was so passionate about cultural care that I emailed Cultural Care South Africa directly, and I was like, hi, so I just wanted to find out if you have any positions available in the company because this, and that. I was
Yeah.
like, I am a cultural care ambassador through and through. And I actually got an interview at the Johannesburg office. I got the job, and I was working there for 9 months. And within 9 months, I actually got a promotion just because of literally all the soft skills that I learned from my au pair time, especially creating relationships. The position that I'm in now works with universities and schools, and that's creating relationships. So the au pair program really benefited me professionally, and I still, till this day, yeah, I am still encouraging everyone else to do the program. It's honestly, it's life changing.
You know what we say, once an au pair, forever an au pair.
Yeah,
I think that's in
definitely.
us, and we can stop talking about it. Like, I was an au pair 2 years ago, I was an au pair 4 years ago, but we're always going to talk about it. Even like 20 years from
Yeah.
now, I'm going to say, I was an au pair back in 2020. Yeah, all right. So guys, like if everybody could share maybe a tip or piece of advice you will give a future au pair who is thinking about joining an adventure and embarking into this experience, what would you say to that potential future au pair? One piece of advice.
I think you should enjoy every moment, like even your bad days, because of course there are gonna be bad days, because
Definitely.
everybody has them, even in your life back home. But you have to think about what it's giving you and just enjoy every single bit of it.
Yeah, great advice. Thank you, Laura.
So my advice is, again, to not have a fear of anything, but to have motivation to try everything.
Mhm.
So the thing is that just don't be afraid. Try new things, ask, do, explore, travel, do whatever you can, because this year is for you and you only. you should enjoy it. You should grow from it and just try new things.
Yes, I totally agree.
I definitely think asking whether it's like before you join the program, like ask someone that has done the program before or that's doing the program, what it's like, what concerns you have, like speak and ask someone. That way it's like easy for you to actually start. And even if you are an au pair already, ask again, ask people to go on trips with you, ask people to go for coffee dates. Just reach out and don't be afraid to get out of your comfort zone and just speak to someone.
Yes, exactly. I agree so much with what you just said, McKyla, because my advice, for example, will be don't be afraid. Do the big jump. Don't question yourself. I think it pays off a lot when you have this mindset. And I was just thinking about what Arifa just said. When she randomly just sent an email to Cultural Care Johannesburg to see if there was a position open, and look where she is now. She got promoted and she's working there for a long time. Just don't be afraid and don't question yourself. Be bold. I think, the best advice would be bold. What about you, Arifa?
That's also what you gain from the experience. You gain that boldness, you gain that confidence, because you go there as someone who's alone, and you're literally building your entire new self in this experience, and you bring that new self back home with you. So just be confident in everything that you do and everything that you want to do that side as well. Go for it. I mean, it's a one year that you might be that side, or if you extend, it's possibly 2 years that you'll be that side. So take in as much as you can and really grab a hold of everything, so that when you return back home, you have life experience.
Yes, exactly. That's amazing. Yes, I hope everybody's is writing those great advice, and everybody who's still doubting about joining the program now know that we can all do it and everything is possible. All right. So talking about experience, actually, one of the great experience that you can gain as being an au pair is through education. So that's our next topic. It's going to be education. It's another reason to become an au pair, because I don't know if everybody knows, but as an au pair, being part of the au pair program, you can also study whenever you like and whenever you're passionate about, and complete what we call 6 academic credits. And so you have to go to school one way or another, right? And study anything you would like. Personally, I decided to enroll into a local community college in Los Angeles, and I studied marketing, which was what I was studying back in France before joining the program. And for me, it was amazing because I got to experience the, American student life in a college, what we see in the movies. And for me, everything was so big, and so unreal. And I really, really enjoyed it. That was what I wanted to do. I wanted to get in the real life and meet local people at a local college. And so, I did that with the help of my host family. They advised me about which college was close by, and we have to work with my schedule as an au pair as well. So of course, always communicating with your host family about those kind of stuff. But enrolling to a local college was really one of the greatest experience. And I gained also a lot of experience from this learning actually as a student in the US. So did anybody have a similar experience studying in a college in the US, like I did?
I did.
Oh,
I enrolled again into community colleges, and I chose to do 2 weekend classes. And now I'm actually doing a third course at Pace University, which is another university here in New York. There's also one in New York City. And they're great because I chose them because they were in line with my university studies that I did back in Italy. And they were great. They were easy. And again, as you said, you can experience the true college life, even if it's for just a short period of time, but that's still nice anyway.
It's amazing. I love colleges. How was it for you with Alessia joining a community college? Was it like bigger than the college, like the university back home? Was it impressive and intimidating for you?
No, it wasn't. I mean, the campus is nice and they're very different from the one that we have in Italy, but it is like just like you imagine seeing in the films, in the
Exactly.
movies. So that's crazy.
Yes, it is crazy. I think that's why I wanted to join the college, is, to live this experience. But yeah.
Yeah, but also like the courses that we took or we can take, those are the one that I followed. For example, they were tailored for au pairs.
Mm-hmm.
And so I had also a lot of other au pairs as students following the class with me. And it was nice because we had that moment of sharing experiences and, we're living the same, almost the same experience. And so that was also nice.
Yeah, of course. It's awesome. Thank you, Alessia. And so there's also other ways to actually complete your educational courses during the year. Maybe somebody else did something else to complete the courses and wants to share.
I actually did. So in my first year, I did a San Francisco weekend class where we just discovered San Francisco. We did volunteer work at like some sort of Goodwill thing that homeless people could shop to get clothes and stuff. But we also talked about like important things like about communication. If you're in a situation, how do you handle it? How can you see it from a different point of view? And it was a really good weekend. It was 3 days, so it was 3 credits, I think. Then with that one, I did, because it was COVID, so I did an online course, Discover the US, and it was about the history of the US and so many more. I think there were like 12 topics, and it was so interesting. I really liked that one. It was long, but I really liked it one.
It was interesting, I can tell.
Yeah, I think I actually did something similar, but I did the Discover USA in Boston. And one of the days was like a scavenger hunt all around the city with a group of au pairs. And you had to go and take pictures at a certain, historical site. And that's how you learned about the history of Boston. In one day, I learned about the Boston Tea Party, about the Boston Capitol. I learned about the gardens. Like I visited so much in the city of Boston in one day. And that was credits. I literally learned about the USA and I got my 6 credits. Well, my 3 credits because it was one weekend course that I needed to do. I thought that was such a fun way to do those credits because I did that in my extension year as well, since I already studied. And I wanted to do something fun for my extension year. So that was really cool to do.
That sounds super fun, you guys. And I was thinking that's also a great way to meet new friends. We were talking about it earlier during the chat, but yeah, that's also a great way to meet new people, the weekend courses. And maybe McKyla, how did you completed your courses if you did already?
I went on a similar like you, but I cannot go to community college. I did mine online. So a couple of companies. God, can you hear me?
It was a little bit froze for a moment, but maybe you can just start the sentence again. Thank you.
Okay. I did mine online.
Okay.
So I did my courses online, and similar to you, I did something that relates to what I did back home. So I studied journalism and communication science, and then here I did marketing and communication as well as and there's actually companies that fit in better with like your schedule, and it will be like the right credits and the right amount that is allocated to you. So it's easier to find like specific classes that's interesting to you for your time as well.
Definitely, yeah, I agree with that. And like I said earlier, we always need to communicate with the host family about the schedule, because obviously you also have a full-time job of being an au pair next to the one when you study. So yeah, I definitely agree with that. And talking about host family, let's look at our last topic where your host mom, McKyla, is going to join us, right? Yes.
Yay.
Welcome to the chat, Lesley.
Hi.
Nice to meet you.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Lesley, for joining us today.
Thanks for
It's
having
always
me.
so nice, you know? Yeah, it's always so nice to have an au pair and a host mom. Not only does it show a great relationship you have already, but it also shows like how interested you are in cultural care and what the program stands for, cultural exchange. Oh, I think there's frozen.
Oh no.
Yeah,
Are we back?
yeah, you are
Yes,
back. You're back.
All
Yeah.
right. Sorry, we accidentally connected to the neighbor's Wi-Fi for fun.
It happens. It happens.
No problem. Well, I was just saying, like, you know, one of the most important parts about our program is the cultural exchange. So it's really nice to have a host mom on the call as well. If you just want to let us know, what's your favorite thing about having an au pair, and you know, how does it make a difference in your home?
I mean, like, as you can see from these pictures, like Kayla has truly become a member of our home. Like our boys love her. She's clearly does such a great job of caring for them, but it's also so nice. Like, she has dinner with us. She spends time with us. It's not the same as if we went to daycare or had a nanny who left at the end of the day. Like, we can do fun things like have holidays together, go to the pumpkin patch together. It's just a really great, much more meaningful, I think, especially for our young kids, and certainly me as a first-time mom, like, just to have that great like support and care in our home is really wonderful.
That's so nice to hear. I mean, my host mom was actually the same way. She said the exact same thing, that it's nice to have an au pair over a nanny because it's a closer family bond than just an employee-employer bond. Really nice to see that as well. And what was one of your favorite things that McKyla brought into your home?
Well, it's funny. We obviously truly love the cultural aspect, but we also are cognizant or worried about not wanting Kayla to have to be the representative of all of South Africa and be responsible for teaching us everything about South Africa, or feeling like she has a part-time job of teaching us about her culture. But we have been able to do fun things, like obviously food. There's actually a South African restaurant in San Francisco that we ordered from, and it was not up to snuff, according to Kayla, but
No.
fun for us to learn about. And the thing that's been most interesting is just like talking about things happening in the news, whether it's things happening in the US, like our crazy politics and social things, and getting an understanding of how those topics are viewed differently in South Africa, or when there's news about South Africa here, like having the opportunity to learn more about the history and the social issues and changes and dynamics in South Africa, because Americans are not the smartest. We usually only care about America. And so it's really nice to be able to get that other side of things, from somebody who knows it better than, whatever our news is reporting on it.
And that's exactly what we're trying to, establish from the program, is learning from each other. Like, even though McKyla is one person from South Africa, but she has all the insights that you don't have. So it's really nice to just bounce off, ideas and questions and things off of each other. Awesome. And Lesley, do you have any tips for any of our future au pairs on, what they can do when they are matching with a family?
Yeah, I mean, it's hard. Like, matching is hard. Like, it's hard to be like, hey, do you want to come live with me? And I'm only talking to you on Zoom or on WhatsApp or whatever. But I do think you can kind of get a good understanding on communication styles and just general like openness and how people are going to be. Certainly, like when we get a future au pair, like the things I would be looking for would be like, how do you communicate, and being very clear on what the au pair wants out of the program and what the host parent is expecting out of the program. it's kind of like online dating, and you're both trying to be cool at first and like, oh yeah, I'm so cool. Like, I'm easy. It's, we're going to get along great. But to the more that you can be like, this is what's important to me. And these are what my expectations might be. It's going to make it so much easier when you actually get there. And you don't have to be like, oh, actually, I hate pizza, or like whatever the funny things you say you love when you're first starting to date someone, like skip that, like get right into it. And that would make it much easier.
And did you also walk into interviews with a list of questions?
No, I was very bad at it. I think I was very bad at interviewing. And we were also interviewing before my twins were born. So I also had no idea what we needed. I've never been a mom before. They're not here. I can't really tell you what it was probably unfair to the au pairs that we were interviewing. And then, also ourselves not really knowing what to do. But I do think questions are really important. But I do not to diminish Kayla's skill, but childcare is not rocket science. Like, you can learn on the job, you will figure out what's important to the host family. What is going to be more important is, feeling comfortable in your home, having a good relationship. So I wouldn't worry, childcare questions aren't going to be as important to me as just general life philosophy. And, how can we work together to be a family unit? So going forward, those are probably more the questions that I would ask, and also would be questions that I would encourage au pairs, potential au pairs, to ask the host families they're matching with.
That's
you and sorry, I'm sorry.
No, I was like, that's great advice for au pairs, and also interviewing, I think, because sometimes, like you said, we're just lost, and it's hard to interview through Zoom or Google, and it's somebody who's going to come live with you for a year, and seems pretty intimate to share a home with somebody and not knowing how to ask certain questions. I think it's super hard and delicate, But once you find the right au pair, how do you maintain the communication? That was a great question that was asked in the chat, actually, before the au pair arrived. Do you have weekly calls, monthly calls with the au pairs, and keep in touch before they actually arrived?
So we had kind of an interesting experience where we had actually matched with a different au pair who was in Germany, but she couldn't get a visa because of COVID. So we kept thinking she was going to come. And then finally it was like, we're so sorry, but we don't know when visas are going to open up again. And so we unmatched with her, and then started looking for someone who was already in the US and could come more quickly, since by then I was already going back to work. So luckily we matched with Kayla, and she was in the Bay Area. So we actually got to meet in person and have those conversations. But to your point with the poor gal that we had originally matched with, we were just chit-chatting, on WhatsApp weekly. We'd have occasional video calls just to check in and see how things were going, and see how we could help her prepare to move to the US. Oh, sorry, we don't have your favorite facial creams here. You might want to stock up on those. Or this is what the weather is like in San Francisco. These are the types of clothes you may want to bring. So we did try to keep in touch until we unfortunately had to unmatch.
Yeah.
But it all worked out.
Looks like a perfect match.
Perfect. Yeah, it definitely is a perfect match. Well, thank you so much, Lesley, for that insightful conversation. I mean, it's always nice to hear from a host mom, and especially from one that has such a good relationship with her au pair. A lot of the time, our au pairs are worried about moving into someone's house and how they're going to live with someone. So I'm sure a lot of them feel reassured now.
Great. One question I would ask is, all the host parents are probably asking, have you ever lived alone? Have you ever had roommates? You should ask your host parents if they have ever had roommates, because they are going to be a lot more, it'll be less of a transition to them if they also were in their 20s or college living somewhere with roommates. So that I would just say that's something to
That's
ask.
a great tip, actually. Thank you.
Yeah. McKyla, actually, while we are with you, what was one of the things that really helped you when you moved into your host family's home?
Helping like transition into their home.
So the transition into their home, what is something that helped you?
I think our dinners, because we do dinners at night, like every day during the week. And that's like the icebreaker, because then you chat and it's like a little bit awkward at first, but then you find like your specific points that you guys talk about or like usually go into. And that has been like something that really helped me adjust to like the city, because I got to ask like, where can I go, places to go. And then Lesley would always like recommend places to go or places to eat or whatever. So spending quality time, I think, helped me adjust to like the house and the chores and things I had to do in the house as well. So quality time, I'd say.
And when you did get any feelings of homesickness, how did you manage that?
Going back to the Facebook group. So I started like the Facebook group and I found South African au pairs in my area. And then we got together for like a braai, #barbecue in the States. And then we each brought like food from back home. And then we had like a whole potluck thing. So familiar food and people from back home, like speaking the language and like interacting and like just bonding over that homesickness really helped me get over it.
Yeah.
Okay. And Alessia, what about you? How did you manage your homesickness? I know there's also a bit of a time difference as well with Italy. So how did you manage that?
Yeah, the time difference was the main struggle. But to be honest, I didn't feel that strong homesickness. Yeah, sometimes I just had those bad days, or sometimes I was just missing home or my family or my friends. And yeah, what helped me was just call them, maybe do a FaceTime call with them, or sometimes I would have just go to the store and buy my favorite cookies that I was eating in Italy, and that helped me a lot. Or one thing that helped me is also like focusing on different activities. So if I was feeling a little bit sad or homesick, I would just go out, go for a run, exercise, or meet with friends, go for a coffee. And that always helped because you're talking with some friends and they're in your same situation. So it was just comforting each other.
Yeah, it's always nice to be around people that are going through the same thing as you. And Laura, what about you? How did you manage your homesickness?
I think it's the same for me. Like, I try to FaceTime my family once a week, or sometimes I forget if you have a busy week. But my host parents always tell me, like, did you text your mom and dad? And I'll be like, oh, I forgot. I'm so sorry. But I'll text them, and then so they remind me of it. But I try to call them once a week and just go out and have fun, because it's going really fast. Like, a year sounds like a really long time, but honestly, like next week I'll be here for 15 months, and I can't believe it's 15 months. It's going so fast.
I mean, you can literally look at this year itself. We're already going into November. It's finished. So 1 year is really nothing. It might seem like a long time when you're considering being an au pair, but once you're there and you reach your 6 month mark already, and you're like, oh my word, I'm halfway through. I haven't done anything yet.
Exactly. Yeah.
It goes so fast, like 10 seconds. Like it's like a roller coaster, like you're so stressed about it before, and then when you go in the ride, it's just and then it's over. Like, that was it. I want to do it again. And then you go, and then you extend. That's what happens.
Literally. And Alessia, since you actually matched with your family during COVID and you guys were matched for a while, how did you come to the conclusion that this is the family that I want to match with?
So I matched in 2019. That was way before COVID. And, sometimes I talk to other families, and sometimes you just have this feeling that, I don't know, it's the right match. The conversations were fluent or they were easy. And I was kind of liking what like the activities that they wanted me to do with the kids. So we had a lot of in common. So I kind of already know that was a good match. And then when COVID hit, we had to wait like 2 years for me to come here. And then we never planned weekly calls or monthly calls. We just shared naturally, like a normal conversation, like you're talking to friends and you're normally sharing, I don't know, your achievement or your vacations or your festivities, birthdays. So we always shared something for all that period. And so we stayed in contact. And by the time I came here, that felt so natural. Like it felt like I was visiting some relatives. And that was great.
That's such a nice matching story as well. Like the resilience, really, staying in there until you could actually come through to the States.
And you know, after waiting all this month, you're like, this is gonna be the perfect match for sure, because we waited a lot. So we're gonna make this work.
Yeah, and you both waited for each other, you know, so
Yes.
like the reunion must be like amazing, you know, when they finally see you at the airport, they're like, Alessia, you're finally here.
Yeah, it was special. So I liked it.
It's amazing.
And Laura, do you have any tips for any au pairs that are in the matching pool right now?
So because I matched, of course, with 2 families because I did my extension somewhere else. I thought about, so I was talking to 2 families for my extension. One in San Diego, sounds amazing. And then North Carolina, of course. And this family has 4 boys, 2 special needs. And it's like, that's a huge thing if you have 2 special needs out of 4 boys, like nonverbal autistic and verbal autistic. But it just felt good because they reassured me, like, we're a teamwork. You just get that feeling that it's right, because the San Diego family just had 2 kids. It would be so much easier, but it just didn't feel right. So just trust your feeling, and if it feels good, just talk about your worries. Like, if there's even a small thing, like one of my first questions was, how do you celebrate Christmas? Not even important at all, but for me it was like, I love
It was
Christmas.
important. So
if they do not celebrate it big, then it's not a right match for me. So just, even if you feel like it might not be important, just ask anything and share everything what you want to share with them. Just do it.
I love it. Yeah, you're absolutely right. Just, you know, be yourself and trust the feeling, you know, because you want it to be the right host family, and you want to have the same expectation as your host family as well.
Yeah, and at first when somebody told me, oh yeah, you'll feel it, I was like, what is that? Or what do you feel?
Yeah,
Like, it's
feel
so
it,
weird
you
when you
do.
tell me you'll feel it, but actually you do.
You do.
you
For
actually
everybody
feel it.
that thinks, what is that feeling? You just know.
Yes, exactly. You do. You do feel something in your stomach, right? In your guts.
Yes.
Yeah, so just go with your guts. I mean, you all have such inspiring and heartwarming stories, and I'm so glad we got to hear from each of you. And we've had a lot of fun this evening, I think.
Yes.
Lots of laughs, lots of jokes. But you know, our time is coming to an end, and we all know that time does fly when you're having fun, and we were having loads of fun. So we are approaching the end of our talk now. And we've gone through the 5 reasons, you know, why you should become an au pair. And we really hope that this talk got you excited to hopefully start your own au pair life soon. And to Laura, Alessia, McKyla, and Lesley, thank you guys so much. It was
Thank
so
you,
much fun
guys.
to have you on
Thank
here.
you.
It's really been a great talk, and we've got some great insights from you all. And obviously from us at Cultural Care, we wish you all the best for the rest of your term. And, you know, just take it all in. Go on as many adventures as you can, learn as much as you can in the amount that you have left, and just really appreciate the adventure that you're on and the step that you took as a young adult. So thank you so much. We wish you all the best. And thanks to everybody else that joined us online and on YouTube.
Thank you, everybody. Thank you for joining. It was amazing.
It was
Thank
so
you.
much fun.
Thank you, and thank you for having us.
Thank
And we
you.
hope that everybody got inspired and really took all the stories to heart. I mean, these talks took me back to my au pair term. And Sophie, what do you think? Did it take you back to your time?
I won't go back now, but you know, I'm past 26. So.
And if you are interested in learning more about our au pair program, you can actually scan the barcode that's on the presentation. Or if you'd like, you can just call or contact your local office. You can also get us on our website at culturalcare.com. But thank you guys so much for joining us. We really had a great time with you all. And we hope that you enjoy the rest of your evening by us. It's probably only afternoon and morning by
Yes.
our au pairs.
Thank
Thank you guys so much.
Thank
I
you,
hope you enjoy the
guys.
rest of your day.
Bye, everybody. Bye-bye.
Have a
Thank you.
good
Bye.
evening.